Okay, the recording starting now, so we can continue our discussion.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. Hey guys, so we have our second meeting here it's an open call for ambassadors, Polkadot ambassadors, and the fellowship. And we have Ollie here from fellowship. We have 4 agenda points, pretty straightforward. We wanted to start with a quick recap, yeah, where we are standing. The collective is live, runtime 1.2.4, where the collective was included, is live, and so on. So maybe we can just get the technical status. Then point 2, we wanted to talk about on-chain guidance. So maybe Ollie, you can do some screen share, which we also have recorded here to really walk us through the extrinsic calls and so on, because at the moment we have everything only on Polkadot.js. Then we maybe have some open Q&As and also some next steps. And also maybe to discuss, hey, because you are in a fellowship, what would you recommend us to make this collective a bit more usable? What UIs do we need? And so on. So this would be the structure. And yeah, Ollie, do you want to start to give us a status update?
Yeah, so as far as I understand, it will go live in upgrade 1.2.4, and that should be in 3 days or 4 days. So it would be the 11th. I think that's Tuesday. So then would start. Then the collective is live, and then we can, start inducting people. In theory, I think the voting could start earlier, but it's more difficult to set up if the collective doesn't yet exist, because we kind of have to build the transaction without actually knowing the pallets. So it's easier to start it on the 11th, and I mean it's probably also easier to do some media campaign or some PR work once it goes live, and then like tell people, hey, this is now going on. Yeah, in general, I mean the setting up these calls is a bit complicated. So I was currently writing some tutorial how to do it better, because just doing it in a video call, I mean, is nice, but it's more of a one-time thing, and you will probably not, you can't copy the values or anything from a video call. Yeah, so we can go through that, and otherwise there's no real UI yet or anything, so we have to use Polkadot.js, which makes it a bit annoying.
Cool. Yeah, let's start with this maybe. Just the walkthrough.
Yeah, can do. Okay, let me share the correct window.
We can't hear you, Six. Are you talking? Oops.
Maybe now. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I just asked if it's okay if we share this video with others who want to join as delegates, or we should create another video where we explain it and make it like an explanatory video specifically for those who want to apply.
I mean, I think in general you can share it with anyone you want, but yeah, it's I think having it in written form is probably more helpful. But yeah, just to see the steps in general, we can still look at it. Okay. So yeah, we are here in Polkadot.js on the relay chain, and it involves like 2 steps, but the step on the collectives chain we can't probably do it because the palette isn't live yet. So I mean we could guess the values, but I think it's easier to do it once it's live. So yeah, on the vote will then be done on this fellowship admin call. I'm just going to bring up the track in Subsquare to show what's normally going on. So this track is currently called fellowship admin, but it will be renamed to collectives admin. And yeah, there's one vote about Geth rank 7 and one earlier vote, something from Joe. And then there would also be the head ambassador induction calls here. And in general, it's possible to set this up here, but in order to do that, like the UI here isn't as proper, so we kind of still need to partially resort to Polkadot.js. Yeah, but the final setup would be done here. So there's like two options here: new pre-image or already existing one. And normally I would click the new pre-image, but that doesn't work now because I think the Subsquare UI isn't so advanced. So kind of have to say that we already have a pre-image, and then for this pre-image we need to put the hash and the length in here. Yeah, and these values we will now create in the Polkadot.js. So Polkadot.js relay chain here. Can go here to pre-images and yeah, pre-images, and click on add new pre-image. And this is then the call that this governance vote will execute. But since the collectives chain like is a parachain, so the ambassadors program lives on this collectives parachain, we need to use XCM to send the message there, which makes it a bit more involved. I mean, you will get this in written form, otherwise I think it's impossible to follow, but I will still go through it once now. So yeah, XCM palette, then send. So this will instruct the relay chain to send a message to the collectives chain. Need to use val.info everywhere here, and then yeah, putting in the concrete values is like a bit annoying, but I mean it should be possible to copy paste some larger chunks of this. So yeah, the relay chain will send a message to parachain 1001, which is collectives, and the thing that it should then actually do there is some unpaid execution, and then the actual thing that should happen needs to be in another item in a transact. And yeah, you see that it's a bit annoying. Yeah, and all of these values here, I mean, it doesn't make sense to tell you now what to put in there if you can't reuse it. Yeah, but the final thing that happens here is this double encoded call, which will actually be what then executes on the collectives chain, because all of this stuff above here was just for XCM to send the thing, and this actual double encoded call needs to be created then on the collectives chain here, and that would be something like, so normally I would select the ambassador program, but that is not in here yet until Tuesday. So we then have to use, I will just use Fellowship Collective, I think it is. Yeah, something like add member, and then a few more, so we can batch them together, one for add member and one for promote. I mean, I can try to do this now. So we use a force batch to like batch multiple calls together, and the first call would be something like, yeah, add member. I mean, these are just mock values, so it's my account, but I mean, it would be your account in that case. And then another call with fellowship, or in this case, ambassador with promote. And I think for the head ambassadors, we would have to, we would have to add like 2 or 3 of these promote calls, I think. Yeah, I would have to check how many of it are, but the general idea is to first have the add call, and then I think 2 or 3 of the promote calls. Yeah, and this thing, I'm not sure. I think it needs to be somehow encoded again, but the general idea is to use this and then put it in here. Yeah, so that then this would be what you're actually voting on the governance proposal. Yeah, but that's obviously a bit involved. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but it's the general flow. But this is like, this is the application now, because we should not add. I mean, you can only add the members after they are, or the add member is to create the pre-image for the application, which then would be executed.
So
Wait.
we have like 3 steps. So this one step is here the governance vote. This this gets this pre-image hash here. And yeah, in order to get the pre-image hash, I still need to click here on this submit thing.
Okay.
And then it will print me a hash and a length that I can copy in here. Yeah, I mean, could do it now, but it costs me some dots, so I won't. But yeah.
Okay, but the pre-image, so the extrinsic needs to include the call add member that we are creating. Like I would create this for my own application to add this, to create the hash to then add it in the pre-image, because if the referenda gets accepted, I directly get added as a chain, right? Get added as a member on chain. That's why I have to predefine it. Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense.
exactly. Yeah, and the idea is that there won't be more than 11, but I think we currently can't really enforce this. So if there's like vote for 12s or so, then I don't know, we would have to remove the last one or something like this.
Why 11?
I think it was like in the
21.
How was it called, RFC or something?
21 actually. So I think this is also for everyone. This is the good overview or visualization that a seed list, right, would be technically possible, right? So what people could do, or whoever wants to maybe apply with someone else, could, you know, when they create the pre-image in the extrinsic, they just add several members. So the referenda that will be submitted could, if it gets accepted, execute 3 members on chain, or only 1, depending on what you put in here. So I think this is just a good technical visualization. Although we don't have a seeding list, it could still be created on chain. But yeah, only to correct you here, 21 head ambassadors will be elected in the first round, not 11.
Okay, so yeah, I was looking at the. Let me check up this IFC where we initially. Yeah, I would have to look it up again. I think there was some like this initial on-chain ambassador document that was voted on, or
minimum 11 to make the collective active. This was the requirement. Maybe you get mixed up.
Okay, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
So before we go into like the process and like how this gets accepted, maybe the pre-image, if we can go back there, because this is what we actually submit.
Yeah. So you mean this one or the other one? The other one?
No, the first one, the first UI, the pre-image, where we put in. Right. And this is just a general referenda on the admin track. Okay. And then we can add our document and so on once this pops up.
Yeah, so this is like a selective fellowship admin, but it should be renamed to collectives admin from Tuesday on. I mean, I'm not sure how fast Subsquare is with renaming that, but yeah, in general. And then you can make a post and you can put comments in there if you want, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, just the referenda, I mean, we need to have our application, right? Like a doc, a picture, whatever people want to add. This will be then, once this pops up here, can be added afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Like in any other like how to say here, referenda. Here you see there's some text or whatever. Like you can make something similar. Yeah.
Okay, and then just one last question from my side, and I hand it over to. So then I think, I mean, it's just to confirm. I assume it's like general referenda process. The sooner you submit, the sooner you can get accepted, because it's always the 28 days, right? In decision period and confirmation period, if you put the dot to vote on. So this means once it's done, like if the first 21 that submit and they will get accepted will be onboarded, right? If we only get 11 submissions, they will be onboarded if they get accepted or voted on. If we have 30 submissions, of course, the one that gets voted on, but the sooner you have more opportunity to get voted on, right? Or get onboarded.
Yeah, exactly.
Faster.
Yeah.
So this
basically as early as possible. Yeah.
Okay, this is a question from my side. Who do I want to hand over to? Six, please.
Yeah, so now it seems that there is a priority on those who submit first and get voted in first. But my understanding was so far, and maybe that's how it is, is that when this voting concludes, then it will be about the number of positive dot votes that someone receives. So let's say it will be, let's say there are like 22 people who wants to be a head ambassador, and there are 2 people, and one has, I don't know, 10 million dot, and then the other one has 20 million dot A's on the proposal. Then, but the first one who only has 10, then he was first. Then who will get in? The one with the 20 million dot because he has more, right? Or the way around, or the other one?
It's not as easy as that, sadly, I have to say. It's like the proposals, they have normally this 28-day decision period. But if you have a lot of support, then the threshold necessary goes lower, and then it can already confirm earlier. So it's in general, like there's 2 factors. There's the support, so the total amount of dot votes, and there's the I think approval, or how it's called. And yeah, they both kind of play a role in this. So you can't as easily say it. I mean, if you have 100% approval, then it goes earlier into the confirming phase. But yeah, if then someone votes against it because you only have a bit of dot, like a low support, then it can also get out of the confirmation again. So like in general, it's like standard OpenGov dynamics where you don't really, can't really predict it.
Okay, so the winner, let's say, who got in the 21st, are the first who got confirmed.
So the first that execute on chain. So normally, the first that confirmed, like it has to stay in this confirmation period for 3 hours or so, and then there's another 100 blocks or whatever that it executes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, okay. Let me go through the questions here. We have some specific questions. Ollie, how many dots do we need to log for in the admin track if I create this pre-image?
So it's a fellowship admin track. There's another general admin track. So there's like multiple admin tracks. So I will just always call it fellowship or collectives admin track.
Collective, yeah.
So it looks like, let me see. I see a decision deposit of 5,000. That would be a lot. Yeah. So for the pre-image log, the pre-image is normally not the expensive thing. It should be, depending on how big it is, maybe 40 dot or so, or 50, I think at most for a larger one. You can always compare to existing ones. I can try to take a look. But yeah, I think the larger price is the decision deposit, it seems, for the fellowship admin. Yeah, it looks like that is about 5,000 dot.
Can you repeat, please?
It looks like the decision deposit for the track is 5,000 dots, so that would have to be locked. Yeah, I'm not sure if someone can probably do that, but yeah, it's annoying.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I didn't know it myself. Yeah, so it would make sense to batch together some applications maybe. Yeah.
So Patty just asked to confirm 41 dot for pre-image, and then the 5K for decision deposit.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And there are no different tracks in the admin track of collective, right? It's already the admin track. It's not like Big Spender or so on. So it's the admin track, and there are no other selections or categories.
Yeah, I can show it again or send a screenshot later, but Shift screen share works. Yeah. Yeah, so this is now on Subsquare. I'm not sure how it looks on Poker Assembly. Yeah. Okay, on Poker Assembly it's under the whitelist tab. Fellowship admin in this case. Yeah, there's 2 things. It's track 13. And on Subsquare it is here under referenda. Yeah.
Okay, and this will be all collective admin then. Okay, the 5K, is this tied to the fellowship right now or set up with the fellowship? Can this be changed, or is this tied to the collectives palette?
This is currently
Like
set in
chain.
the on-chain, like in the relay chain runtime. I mean, it kind of made sense for the fellowship. I'm not sure if it makes sense for the ambassadors to have the 5K, but yeah, I think we didn't really consider this. I'm also not sure if it was it will be changed in the 1.2.5 upgrade, but I don't think so. Yeah.
Be used for the deposit? I think so, right? Lockdot should be able to be used on governance.
I'm not sure. Can't say right now.
Let's follow up on this one. Maybe, Patty, I will note this down. It's a good question to ask in the follow-up, maybe to Joe or Ollie can get back to us on this. And lockdot be used for the, okay.
Yeah, this is a very strong limitation on the applicants, I think, because I'm not sure many of us have this amount of DOT that can be placed as the deposit. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to have this for the initial seeding. I think it was probably an oversight.
Yeah, I could imagine like a couple of hundred dots. That's realistic, but more than 1,000, especially 5K. Is it possible to change that, or the 5K is a configuration for all the referendums on this track, or it's more like every collective can have different configuration?
Currently, it's set for the whole track, so all collectives would have this. Yeah, but maybe it makes sense to split the track, like to have two, one for fellowship, one for ambassadors. I think the initial idea was to merge them because they had the same configuration, but yeah, didn't really think about that.
But we have to think like this now. I mean, this is how it is. It could be changed, right? Let's say, but if it could be changed and the fellowship is willing to integrate this, this could only be integrated in 1.2.5, which takes another 3 or 4 months, right? Depending also if this could go in the next release, runtime upgrade or another one. So I think we have to find a workaround because the collective will be available, the program will be there. So this is a very, very hard requirement right now, but there will be people that have the DOT and will apply. So we cannot say, don't wait for this upgrade and only apply if there's a lower threshold, right, guys? So this is something, it's very bad because at the moment it creates different groups and maybe they are now applying only the people with a lot of DOT. And then we have 21 people already because the other people were not able to join. But I think Ollie just confirmed for me, there's nothing we can do in the next week for this, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it's now maybe to get funds for everyone, but.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask someone to sponsor you. Maybe if you you know, if there's a lot of approval, it could be that someone places it for you. But besides that, yeah, I mean, the earliest that it could be changed would be 1.2.7 because 1.2.6, yeah, because 1.2.5 is already up for vote, so it would be a bit much.
Just one correction, and Patty, then I'll let you, Lorena. The 5K is for a single submission, like because you submit your application to admin track. So the 5K is for individuals, not for 21 people. Okay, Patty?
Yes, I understand. The thing is, the only point is I don't know who mentioned that is for ambassador, not for ambassador, for head ambassador. That is my only comment. That is only for head ambassador, not for the rest of the categories. That is maybe it's very high amount, but maybe if we, instead of, I don't know, if we have some guy that promote us, we can do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's only for this initial setup. Like once you have the collective, like you don't need to put this in there again.
Patty, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very important for me to understand if I can use my wallet that I use for a nomination, because I don't know how many people have free free dots, this amount free, because if I have this amount, I use this amount voting or nominating some validator. So it's a very tricky situation. If I can use my wallet that I use for the nomination, okay, I'm thinking, but if I need 3 dots, is impossible, because I don't know who has this amount free at the moment, a whale or not. So if I have this this type is so high to leave this free. So I know this is my opinion about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can still apply together, as I said. I mean, this is the decision deposit for the referendum, and it can like have multiple ambassador seedings in there. But yeah, it depends on what you prefer. So.
We need to follow up on the specific question, Patty. We take this. Ollie needs to double check this, if we can use locked or staked or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
This is one option. The other one is, of course, people can say they apply together. They share their costs, right? They only add one pre-image, but add 3 or 5 people, then everyone pays 1K with one account. And the other thing is, we need if you want to apply on your own and you can't, you don't have the funds, you can ask someone, right? If people will support your application anyway, then they can maybe borrow this amount of DOT to you, that you get back to them with the salary that will be issued. Overall, I think it's definitely a hurdle, but it also pushes the ambassadors a bit to show, you're long-term DOT investor already, you're Arrow holder, you can afford this, you can get it through your networking and so on. So it has good and bad sides. Okay, let's try to fix it in upcoming releases, but let's try to use it as an opportunity as well.
Yeah, so I think the deposit will only work if it's from the free balance, like normally in the referenda. But what I wanted to ask is, this is a deposit, right? So when the referenda starts and there is the decision, and let's say we put 5K of DOT as the deposit. So do we get back the deposit right after, or like maybe a couple of days or weeks after the referenda finishes?
Yeah, so you can get it back after it's done. So I guess at most 28 days.
Okay, so it's somewhere around like $36,000 now. I imagine that some people can take a loan or even a crypto loan. If you have DOT, Bitcoin, whatever, you can take a loan on this, and then you put the deposit, and after 2 months you can put it back. There are some projects who can help. So if you need this, then let me know. I can give you some ideas on this. I will do probably something similar, because my DOT, in my case, for example, 95% is staked. So it's not possible to get it out in a month.
Cool. Thanks, Six. That's good input. Again, like we can find workarounds, right? Be creative. Don't get scared by this. If you really want to do something, you can find a way. Okay, but Ollie, the two things, right? Could you also take this back and discuss it in the fellowship? Say, hey, now having the ambassador collective implemented, we came across this part. The deposit is a bit too high. That this can be changed over the next months and be customized per collective, because there might other collectives come up, right? Collective is now we are in a very exciting time, because the ambassador collective is much different from the fellowship, for how it's set up and what we are going to do, and it can be used for you guys only also as a learning phase, right? And then what in collectives, what talents need to be customizable, because there will more collectives come and they need other other specific requests as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and we will probably add a track for like one track for ambassadors, just so that it can be lower. But yeah, it's a while out, so not this time, but then eventually it would exist, I guess.
Yeah, or that the collectives chain, I mean, the collectives is a chain, right? It's a parachain.
Yeah, exactly.
That this can be customizable, so to say, or
no, I said that we will probably add another track on the relay chain voting. So
Okay.
like having two tracks, one for fellowship admin, one for ambassador admin, so that we can lower the deposit, I guess, in general. I mean, maybe it's already too late. Like maybe when we get the initial votes in, we won't need it anymore, because these votes are only for actually removing. Or yeah, maybe it still makes sense to lower it. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I will bring it up.
But now the fellowship admin track will be renamed to collectives admin track, and then we would go back to fellowship and ambassador collective, for
I guess,
example.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll have
Anyway,
to,
these are things you guys can discuss. Feel free to reach back out to us if you want any feedback on this, right? Or the people that are onboarded then. Okay, so this one, and then of course, if we can use locked dot as well. This was the other question. What else? Open mic here. Who has questions? Yeah.
We have a testnet where we can try the ticks and something like that. So if I wanted to understand all the process and do some extrinsic simulation of the process, I can find it in some testnet, or I'm waiting only the official runtime.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have this on Rococo, but I think we don't have it. Let me check. I think it's also not on Kusama. No, I think the ambassador program was only added to Polkadot. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. Maybe I can check West End collectives if there is something, but
because I searched but I don't find it. So I don't know if that wasn't in loaded, or if you think to in the future to add them in Rococo or not.
no. I just see that it's in West End. So in the West End collectives chain, there is the ambassador program in there. Like the call, like you cannot just copy paste the pre-image from there into Polkadot, but you could at least test it there, I think. Let me see. Yeah, there also seems to be a referenda and pre-images, so maybe it's possible to test it on West End. I mean, that would be good that we can try it out in advance.
Just now, so I can use the West End to try just now.
Yeah, you can go there, and then I mean anyone
Okay.
can normally
Okay.
play around with it.
Thank you.
Let me read your question.
One question related with the.
Go ahead. No, I wanted to read the question from the chat, but please go ahead, Lorena.
Yes, because the vote is in the collective, the relay change balance work for the collective, or we should may use teleport or something like that to for the dots, because it's completely different.
Yeah, so in general, you will need to teleport some dots to your collectives chain. I mean, you don't need to do this initially, but it can still help to set it up now so that you know that your wallet and everything works, because it's a different parachain. So you need to scan the metadata, and just to not be surprised that it maybe doesn't work later. So yeah, I guess it could be a good exercise to teleport some dot there. I mean, I also needed to do this for the fellowship. And these dots are then used once you are in the ambassador program to vote inside the ambassador program and do things there. Yeah, I think there is a teleport. Yeah, Polkadot.js does have a teleport option. I can try to share it, but I mean the UI isn't great, so I'm not sure if I can recommend it, but you could try it. So
Can you-
To vote for, no, I don't understand, sorry. When you vote for no us, but for the community to vote, like in this collective or to select the head ambassador, they need to change the balance for vote to this collective, or the
No,
voting process is the same that any is the same that OpenGov
yeah.
in each track. Okay.
Yeah, so initially, like the seeding is a standard OpenGov vote, so anyone can use their dot there. But then once you are inside the ambassador program and want to do things there, you will want to teleport some balance to here. I don't know, probably, yeah, something like this, and then teleport and then trigger. Yeah, sorry.
So 2 things to this. Maybe, so can you show us the voting again? Like, would it pop up on Polka Assembly under where should we guide our community support towards to vote for us?
Yeah, so in general, there would be like a third, like or a four for how many ambassadors like how many proposals you want to have.
Yeah.
And then like depending on who sent the transaction, like only the one who sends it can actually edit this thing here. But yeah, I mean, if it's yours, then then there is like an edit button. And you can like explain why you want to be ambassador, or if you apply as a group, like you would probably have a section for everyone, and then people would like click on vote here. Like this is for Subsquare, but for Polka Assembly, I mean, it looks pretty much the same again. Cast your vote or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, no, through the admin track, this was clear. Okay, and something else. So because when the first 21 head ambassadors are onboarded, only then they can go to OpenGov to request a treasury. And as you guys have seen, the fellowship is requesting a treasury at the moment. Maybe you can show us the proposal.
Yeah.
Also, like very late, right? And I mean, the fellowship is online since a year, maybe.
Yeah.
So they just now request a treasury, but we can learn from their proposal as well. But my question to this is because there won't be a treasury. So the collective is empty regarding dots, but has 21 people and they want to onboard ambassadors and senior ambassadors. This would mean, because we need to vote on these, that these head ambassadors need to use their personal dot, correct? Because they don't have access to a treasury, to a collective treasury.
What you mean with you? Like, what would they use the dot for paying people, or for sending, or for
voting, or we can maybe we can just onboard them, correct?
Yeah. So let me open that here. Or maybe this if this UI is so good. So normally it looks like this, that you have some kind of member list. I mean, this is a bit fortunate because we have this already for the fellowship. I don't think it yet exists for the ambassadors. I also just see that the UI here, let me see, is it good? Yeah, so there's some kind of induct button. So yeah, normally you could do it here, but I guess for the beginning there won't be this doesn't support the ambassadors program for the beginning. I mean, I hope that they eventually, Subsquare and Polka Assembly, would add that, but yeah, in the beginning you probably need to do it over Polka.js again. Yeah, but you don't actually need any, like, you do need some dot here, which is which you teleport there, but this is only for sending the transactions. You don't need, like, I don't know, you need maybe 1 dot or so in general, because the transactions are very cheap here. and the existential deposit is also lower. So
So could
yeah,
you,
that
this is actually for later on. That should be only explained to the 21 elected head ambassadors. But out of curiosity, could you show how the 21 head ambassadors then onboard someone else? This is what you just okay via extrinsic also, and then add members.
So I'm in this collectives. I mean, I can actually go to West End then because there's already the ambassadors in here. So yeah, again, extrinsic. If you want to do anything on chain, it's always extrinsic. And then there is ambassador collective. I think let me see. I'm actually not so sure which of these it is myself. Yeah, I would have to actually look it up because it's either this one or it is this one.
Okay, no worries. We figured out when we need it, but just for everyone, there is no need for like voting on the senior ambassadors. We can just agree on them. I mean, this is what the head ambassadors have to figure out, and then they can onboard them because they have the power of the collective. That's good to know.
Yeah, so I think they can. I mean, I think how it's currently configured is that they can add ambassadors, but generally, like for promoting people, I mean, I'm not sure how it's exactly configured right now, so I could be wrong. But in generally, there would be a way to vote because there is a referenda palette in here, so that you can have votes on who should be promoted. For example, like this is how it's also like it looks a bit nicer here. For example, let's see, promote to rank 1. Then there are some proposals to like in this case retain. I guess it's on the wrong track. But then there's like some proposals to do something like, you know, promote someone to rank 1, and then only the people inside the collective can actually vote on this. So if you look at the votes, it's in this case only people from the fellowship and nobody from outside can vote on it. So it would then be like for the ambassadors, they could they would have something. I mean, I hope they would have something similar when they have the UI, that they can also then vote on these things.
Okay, and then a follow-up question is, so I guess, is this then as a referenda? So let's say someone wants to become a senior ambassador, then the 21 head ambassadors, they vote on a referenda, which is also online for 28 or 30 days. But there's no threshold on how many, right? If only one head ambassador votes A, and it goes through, this is being accepted. Because I don't see anything on GitHub that we have a threshold on voting.
Yeah, I think it can happen. I mean, it just takes very long, so there's enough time for someone to vote nay. I mean, we would expect people to check this like, you know, every 2 weeks. So if it's like with one vote, it would take more than that. So if you check it every week or every 2 weeks, then you know you can't really miss anything. So yeah.
Okay, and one vote is one. I mean, one dot is one, or one head ambassador is one vote. This is not based
exactly.
on
Yeah,
one
it's
dot.
not vote. Yeah, it's not dot based. So you can't. It's not conviction voting.
Cool. Many more questions to this, but nothing that is very important for now. I think we need to focus on the important next steps. 10 minutes left. Who else has questions?
My question is when we can start submitting the proposal, candidacy, or whatever. Next week, you mentioned?
So
Tuesday?
yeah, it should be Tuesday. Yeah. I mean, it's probably best if you already write, you know, like write your proposal and everything so that you have it ready to post it then, or maybe already post it in advance. Hey, I'm going to, you know, sign up, apply. Yeah, but it should be Tuesday. So the exact date is decided by OpenGov. So if we go,
But we have to follow this process that you share, but you have to complete all of this for our collective. So, or I am wrong because we should follow all the process that you show, but it's not possible to do it now. So, or
Yeah.
maybe
Yes,
I'm wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think it could be done now, but it's more complicated because we don't like the new runtime is not. It didn't upgrade yet, so you kind of have to guess some values, and then if you guess it wrong, it's like everyone will vote on it, and then it fails. It's also not good. So
Okay.
yeah.
But it's 1.2.4, not 5, right? The collective was included in
Oh yeah.
1.2.4.
Just noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And there we have
I think it should say in like
passed. It said passed.
in 3 days or what? Passed.
Okay, but
But
the chain shows it's not passed, or it.
maybe there was some big vote. I don't know. Weird. Here, because he also wrote. I think I checked it like 2 hours ago, and it was not yet. So maybe someone voted like last minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Then maybe the timeline changes a bit. I don't know. 3:40. So that was like 8 minutes ago. Or no. Wait, no. That's
They
not
know
right.
we are talking about it. They wanted to.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's confusing.
But it's not on executed yet, so it's confirmed, and then it switches to executed.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's something we can stay up to date on top of. Maybe Ollie, if you see something interesting from your teammates these days, you can ping us as well in the Element group. Would be nice in case it happens on Saturday or Sunday, so people can submit if they want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone has any other questions? And I think, Ollie, as you saw, thank you so much again. This helped us a lot. We recorded this. You said you're working on a guide also. That would be amazing, with screenshots, hopefully, step by step, that we can then also distribute. This is our mission at the moment. I mean, all of us have to reapply, but we would like to also share this knowledge that we gain from you to the community. And this is also good transition because we wanted to host another Twitter space. I'm currently confirming this with Birdo and the social media team. They offered one for early next week. I need to confirm this today. So let's say, I guess Tuesday could be possible. Is this something you would be interested in joining again with prepared questions?
Yeah, let me see. Next Tuesday, the 11th. Yeah, I mean, that would be exactly after it enacts, I guess, or on the day, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Cool. So for everyone else here, we are planning these. So we are planning one Twitter space, which is a bit more high level, like this, maybe where we run through how to apply. Yeah, not this is on Twitter, of course, no screen share and so on. We try to just explain it, motivate people, and say, hey, maybe give some examples. And the second Twitter space that we can maybe host in another week. This is independent from fellowship. Birdo suggested to do an open pitch event. So Polkadot would host, and everyone that's currently on chain with their referenda could use the Polkadot platform to also introduce themselves and say, hey, this is my referenda, blah, 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 please support, get my vote. I'm Zoe, I want to do this. And that would be great. So a bit of the idea, we had to do this during the coded. Now we have to do it online. This would be the next steps for our communication.
Yeah, that sounds a very good idea with having some pitch, I think.
Yeah. Yes, Karen. All events, both X spaces will be on Twitter online. Virtual, I mean, we would need to implement a broadcast on YouTube for this one. I will figure this out. I think for the pitch, it would be nice to see the ambassador as well. Yeah. Perfect. Do you think you could get answers to our very technical questions and the guide by Tuesday? So when we have the space that we can also link to the resources?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, still like write them down again in the chat. So I can check again so not forget something. But
yeah, we will summarize this, and then maybe we can add the FAQs. We can add an overall FAQ to the guide to say, okay, this is how much deposit you need, log dots, and so on. And then we have everything in one doc.
yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Cool. Any last questions, guys? No? Thank you, everyone.
I'm okay.
Thank you, Ollie. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Thank you, Holly.
Thanks. Yeah, was
Bye.
nice. Bye bye.
Have a good day. Bye.